the goal of life and what are all the dimensions that are related to the goal of life. We have taken the example of Sri Rama, the role model which has been brought forth in Yoga Vasishtha, a great text of yoga. Just like Arjuna got into a turmoil, a conflict between duty sense and ethics and morality, Sri Rama got into a great vairagya. So that brought Yoga Vasishtha into operation. So we start today's program with our prayer. Please repeat after me. Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. Recording going on. Recording. Anandadhyeva Kalvimani Bhutani Jayante Anandena Jatani Jivanti Anandam Prayanti Abhisamvishanti Saisha Bhargavi Varuni Vidya Parame Vyoman Pratisthita Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The meaning of this wonderful verse from Taittiriya Upanishad says that Bhrigu, son of Varuna, so he went on investigating reality. So he thought initially it is the Anna, Ananda Brahma, Annam Brahmeti Vedanat, then Prano Brahmeti Vedanat, Mano Brahmeti Vedanat, Vijnanam Brahmeti Vedanat, finally Anando Brahmeti Vedanat. So he thought it is the body that is the ultimate reality. Then he thought, no, I may have the body, prana is not there, how can be? Therefore prana is more fundamental. Then he may have body and prana, but he may be in a state of coma, unconscious state. So therefore, mind is important. Mano Brahmeti Vedanat. You may have mind, but you may be a hysterical person, a neurotic, a psychotic, pagal. So, controller of the mind important, Vijnanam Brahmeti Vedanat. Finally, his teacher, Varuna says, now you go beyond the intellect. Finally, he goes into this. Understand, it's the Ananda, that's the reality. And it is only from the Ananda the whole world has come into existence. Anandena Jathana Jivanti. They all are sustained by the Ananda. We are all sustained by Ananda. And when we die, Anandam Prayanti Abhisamvishan. We go back to Ananda. Ananda is the field. Anandamaya Kosha. So this is the great Vidya that the Bhrigu understood, unraveled, and what happened? Parame Vyoman Pratisthita. So having understood, he stayed in that wonderful state of silence, total or pervasive silence. That's the meaning. So Bhrigu realized that bliss is Brahman. Or from bliss, verily all these beings are born. It is by bliss. When born, do they live? Into bliss at the time of dissolution, do they enter? Do they emerge? This is the wisdom taught by Varuna and learned by Bhrigu. His mind got established in that supreme Akasha. This is silence. So that's the prayer that we have. So, Yoga Vasishtha unravels this entire mystery of yoga. So in the first chapter for the Vairagya Prakarana, the context is Rama, after his education, went for a nice pilgrimage with his parents, with his brothers, and all Parivara. That wonderful pilgrimage to various places, the saintly ashrams, to various temples and holy places. And when they all returned, they were all very happy. But Rama got into a phase of vacuum in life, a non-active phase. So the young Sri Rama, disinterested in all aspects of life, either in eating, playing, talking, everything. He was staying in a corner and he was in a non-active phase. His disinterest, the non-active phase. The question comes, was it a state of depression or what happened to Sri Rama? So I must understood what is the difference between depression and Vairagya. Depression is a mental health disorder. So persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness, loss of interest, and pleasure in activities ever enjoyed. It's a pathological state. Whereas Vairagya, no. So it is a state which is called Vairagya. Vairagya, the disinterest. Sri Rama got into a fundamental quest in life. What is the meaning of this life? Very deep analysis. He started understanding, trying to ask himself, what are we doing? We're all bound by this cycle of birth and death. We all take birth, one way die. Again, we undergo the post-death phase and come back. But cycle of birth and death goes on. They form an illusory cycle, worldly pursuit, yield pain, unrelated yet intertwined by the mind. Everything goes on and on in the life. Material wealth, no doubt, offers some happiness, but no true solace. Rama says, I inquired and I found the unreality of all but the self. Everything that we are seeing is fleeting, is Maya. As a result, detachment follows. Like a traveler rejecting a desert mirage, internal turmoil persists despite external effort. So this is what's happening to Sri Rama. He has been asking questions, what is this life? What is this life? We are bound by birth and death cycle. Then he says wealth, money, very important, like family, doesn't guarantee happiness. It clouds minds with endless thoughts. Obtained wealth often condemns spiritually wise. It corrodes happiness. Breeding, love, hatred, all succumb, blurring the virtues. Rare are the blameless, wealthy, fair rulers coveted wealth. Fleeting and useless akin to a flower in a well surrounded by a serpent. This is the analysis that Rama is doing. What is the purpose of this wealth? Getting more money, more money. There are emperors who are very, very wealthy, but look at their life. The family is full of challenges, problems. It clouds their minds, and wealth brings ego and several other things. So wealth is not really the solution in life. What about life itself? It's fleeting, like a raindrop. Desire, more and more desire, shortens it. Illusory, lacking true purpose. There is no purpose in life. It looks for him. Noble life, seeking inner wisdom, free from rebirth, ignorance, burdens. True bliss in self-realization, people say, but I don't understand what it is. He's telling. It's all illusory. Life has no meaning. This is what Sri Rama is thinking. Ego is a terrible thing. We're terrified by ego's illusions, causing turmoil and endless actions. Long association breeds agitation, loss of enjoyment. Renunciation holds the secret. Ego clouds desires, bloom despite renouncing actions. Pains persist, prevents self-realization. Seeking liberation from ego, source of all dangers. Ego is the biggest enemy, biggest problem, and puts it into the entire life of suffering. See, look at Sri Rama. Systematically, he is analyzing each and every aspect of life. What about mind? It's a monkey mind, tossed amidst love and hatred, wheels in vain, away from wisdom, coveting wealth. It fails to hold joy, preying on me. Relentlessly like a straw in a wheel wine. It leads to delusion and pain, deceptive, leading to worldly actions. Impossible to control. It is the source of all miseries that the mind that we all have. No? What about desires? Desires are owls in the night of delusion. Norway, virtuous actions. They prevent doing the right actions, the correct actions. They scald, induce fear, daze intelligence, and afflict even the wise. Even the wise people are drawn by the desires. Ever waxing, they lead to rebirth, pains, disinclination, praised as remedy, manifest externally. They destroy even the great men, the body, the subject to change, houses, desires, fleeting pleasures. Desire, karma. So he's analyzing all different aspects in this Vairagya Prakarana. Why it led him to the state of Vairagya. This action is because of this analysis. What about youth? They all become young, fraught with energy, but dangers succumbs to love's then blows intelligence, takes away the intelligence. Love haunts, tainted, desires unleashed, like a mirage in the desert. Youth brings about all the energy, at the same time, they have the problem. The mind in sensual objects, pleasures, breed pains, desires multiply, mischief, true manifold, seeks liberation amidst youth's thing. Obstacles, rare is the youth adorned. Female bodies, he describes, we are compositions of flesh and bones. Inside desires, lust, a trap set by desire, enslaves mind, conjugal pleasures only for the married women. The source of worldly bondage, ceaseless cravings. Renunciation leads to eternal bliss, but we don't look into it. Infancy, childhood, it yields to youth, then old age, with its afflictions, delusion, diseases. Intelligence wanes, desires, ungratified foreign from kin, old age, frail and feeble. This is how he's explaining every dimension. Our childhood, our youth, our old age, everything is fleeting, coming and going. Fosters fears, unfulfilled desires, leading to contemplation of existence, nature, joy, thirst, but remains unquenched thoughts, whither death claims the age. Old age succeeds youth, bringing delusion, disease, waning intelligence, aging, unfulfilled desires, scorn from kin, frail and feeble, fostering fears and unfulfilled desires. Joy thirsts but remains unquenched. Death claims the age amid mental and physical ailments. What bliss in association with their dotage? Then the destructive Shakti associated with the dissolution of the universe. You know, even in our body, every cell is getting destroyed every day. You know, a billion cells get destroyed, a billion cells get created every day. Annihilates all existence with her various forms and attributes, symbolizing the cycle of creation and destructions. The narrative underscores the dominance of desire and the quest for spiritual enlightenment amidst worldly distractions as the destructive Shakti which are there. The genuine reverence for all things, for wise individuals is scarce. We don't have that genuine reverence to this thing. It hinders our pursuit of liberation. The mind is tainted with lacking empathy. The Daivi Sampat, all these things are lacking. Oscillates between selfishness and discontent. Without compassion or indifference to vice, it succumbs to cowardice and moral decline. It succumbs to Asuri Sampat. Associating with enlightened is challenging, but essential for spiritual growth. So these are all the things that he does. So the Rama's question was centered around the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? He analyzed one by one, one by one. The whole chapter of Vairagya Prakarana is an analysis of life, which I briefly summarize most of these things. So, in our lives, we all take birth, grow from childhood, probably we get educated, and we get a good job, and maybe marry and produce children. And we get old one day, and one day we die. Is this also life? No. That is the question that Rama is posed with. Dispassion. Because of this thing, he got into the phase of called Vairagya. Vairagya, dispassion. That means not interested in anything whatsoever. It's a state of detachment or non-attachment to all worldly desires, actions and possessions. He didn't want anything. Even he's not interested in good food. He was not interested in games and play. He was not interested in company of people. He had such a loving father, mother, brothers, everybody. He was not interested at all, His question was haunting. What is the meaning of this thing? What is the meaning of this? A deep quest of meaning of life that arose in the life of Sri Rama. It was haunting him. So what was happening? He was just sitting. He was sitting in a corner. This state of vacuum, emptiness, occurs in everyone's life at one stage or other. Driving them to get at the higher wisdom base of our Sanatana Dharma. This is the stage from where you go to the higher dimension of life. Sri Rama found no answer. So he was all sitting in a corner. Then what happened? Sage Vishwamitra came to take Rama and Lakshmana to help him to protect his big yajna that he was doing. So Vishwamitra came and Dashatha welcomes him. Come on, the great Rishi. We are so blessed that you have come. You have been able to divinize my kingdom by your presence. Please let me know how I can help, how I can do whatever you need, which is under our control, this thing. Then Vishwamitra says, okay, I'm doing a big yajna. In the yajna, I should be sitting, I should not talk, I should not come up, I should not do any action. Only I should be fully immersed in my yajna. But what is happening? The Rakshasas are coming and they are putting flesh, they are putting bones and dead bodies into my yajna, spoiling my yajna. So I want Rama and Lakshmana to go with me to protect this thing that's happening to me. Please send Rama and Lakshmana. Then Dashatha says, they are so young. How can they protect such big demons who are coming? No, no, no. I will come myself. I will bring my all soldiers and then Sainya, and I will protect. Don't worry. You want your Yajna to be protected. Therefore, I will come and do. Please don't ask Rama and Lakshmana. They are too young to help you, to support you, to protect you. Vishwamitra, no. They are capable of doing it. And I want them and not you. You are given a promise, you are given a thing that you are going to do whatever I ask. You have to send. If you don't do that, I am going to curse you. You know? Then the Shata was shivering. The great Kuluguru Vasishtha comes and says, Dasharatha, you are born in the Raghukula. The word given in the world, you have to follow. You have told Vishwamitra you are going to give, and you have to send Rama and Lakshmana. You have no choice. And Vishwamitra will take care. Why you are worried? Vishwamitra is such a great sage. He has all the siddhis and everything. He will help Rama and Lakshmana to grow. He will educate them. Come on, send. Then Dasharatha says, okay. But then he introduces Sri Rama, telling, look at what has happened to my Rama. He is in a great, state of vacuum, dispassion, disinterested in everything. So you only have to take care. Then Vasishtha asks, Sri Rama comes, what is the matter? Why you are in this state? Why you are getting disinterested? Why are you in the state of dispassion? Why you are sitting isolated like this? You are a young person, full of energy, vitality, and you have a great education. Why you are sitting like this? Then Sri Rama goes to Vishwamitra and explains all these things which I mentioned. What is the meaning of this life? Is there a goal in life? Is there a purpose in life? And what all we are doing that? Everything is governed by the Kala, with birth and death, by desires and all types of hazards in life. Childhood, youth, then old age and everything, suffering. Goes on and on. We have no control, nothing whatsoever. Everything appears to be meaningless. For me, everything appears there is no goal in life. Everything appears to be meaningless. Therefore, I am in that state. So Vishwamitra looks at him and tells Dasharatha, hey, don't think this is any depression. It is a great state which occurs to everybody at one stage in life. Having understood all things related to the normal things, you have to go to the higher level. So this is called Vairagya, dispassion. And Sri Rama has come to that phase. Having told Dasharatha thus, he tells Rama, don't worry. You are thinking that there is no meaning to life. Sorry. Shuka also was a young lad like you, but he also was thinking like this. Then he went to his great guru, his father, Vyasa Maharshi, and Vyasa Maharshi explained everything. Then Shuka got brightened, he understood, and came out with all the things. And Sri Rama was very, surprised. Oh, there is meaning in life. There is a goal in life. There is a purpose in life. And Shuka was able to unravel. Okay, please tell me. Tell me the story of Shuka. Then Vishwamitra says, that not only the teachings that Vyasa gave to Shuka, you will have the great Brahmarshi, Vasishtha, one of the greatest persons in the world. He is your Kuluguru, and he will explain everything. So from that day, Vasishtha started giving the discourse in the morning and in the evening. The discourse was so fantastic. All people were sitting, morning 2 hours, 3 hours, evening 2 hours, 3 hours, and people were flooded with the real wisdom. And that wisdom is what is called Yoga Vasishtha. Just like Sri Krishna gave in the war field, Arjuna, the whole wisdom base in the 18 chapters, Bhagavad Gita came. Similarly, Yoga Vasishtha came, 8 chapters. So like Bhagavad Gita emerged due to conflict of Arjuna, Yoga Vasishtha emerged due to Rama's Vairagya. So, what is the first teaching he says? He says, our Sanatana Dharma tells us that there is a fundamental drive in all of us, whether you know it or not. You have to recognize that. What is that fundamental drive? The Upanishads have pronounced. It is called Sukha Praptihi, Dukkha Nivrittihi. You have to move to get more and more happiness towards bliss, and you have to overcome misery. Sukha, Dukkha. What is Sukha? What is Dukkha? It's not analyzed, but we all have a fundamental drive towards it. Sukha should be increased, Dukkha should be reduced. That is the aim of life. And it has been built into our life, whether we know it or not. So, Vasishtha says, please see, find out what all voluntary actions you have been doing, what all you are going to do, what is happening. It is all to get more and more happiness and to reduce the misery. For example, you educate, get a degree, maybe these things, and by a degree you can get a good job or have a good business. You must know. And for what? When you get a good job, you have good money, so you can be happy. So all our education is geared today to get more and more money. Which field degree you are going to choose? In our times, it has to be medical and engineering. Even today, some extent is there, but more important today is computer, software. Why? See, for medical, I have to do for 4.5 years, 5 years, then internship, another thing. Then I do MD 3 years, and afterwards I do super specialty. That will be another 3 years, 5 years. So whole thing is almost 15 years. At the end of it, how much money I get? Maybe 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh per month. But today, if I take to computer science, electronic engineering, within 2 years, 3 years, then you start getting same money, 50,000 1 year. So why should I spend so many years? Because our education is geared to money. Why? We think money is the one that is necessary for life to get the happiness. If I am very wealthy, I'll be very happy. You can buy whatever you want. You can have all the sense pleasure. Every action we do voluntarily is all geared toward getting happiness. All involuntary functions are meant to avoid the misery. In spite of it, we have never analyzed what is Sukha, what is Dukkha. Sri Rama went on analyzing all what is called as the Dukkha. But as normal people, though we are in the age of science, everything we question. Somebody says you have to go to the temple and do the prarthana, do the puja. Why should I do it? You should do Sandhyavana. Why should you do that? Every day morning you must do yogasana. No. I can't get up at 5 o'clock. Why I should do that? Every day you must do meditation. Why I should do this? Everything you question. Questioning is the order of the day today. Nothing wrong in it. Very necessary. But why did we not ask this question? What is happiness? What is misery? What is Sukha? What is Dukkha? Why? Because we thought that Sukha is an object of enjoyment. A nice dish you eat, you will be very happy. You read a nice book of your choice, you are happy. You hear a nice song, you are very happy. Therefore, what is there to analyze? It's an usual experience. Not only as individuals, even as groups. The whole society went to do these things, But what has happened? If you analyze, it becomes very clear. When you like an object, I was giving you last time the example that you're from Bengal, you like Rasagola. When you eat Rasagola first, you are very, very happy. Then second thing, third thing. Some people are more capable. And then after 5, the sukha goes on reducing. Oh, enough of it, enough of it. But somebody forces you to eat, then you get into busy. Law of diminishing returns. If happiness was really in Rasagola, in objects of enjoyment, what should have happened? It should have increased. Therefore, the first conclusion is happiness is not in objects of enjoyment. But we all have assumed that happiness in the objects of enjoyment. Second argument. It varies from person to person and from community to community. What one community like, another community doesn't like. From persons in one country, another country goes on changing. But click in objects outside. You go on doing it, always outside. We never analyze. We are searching outside, the wild goose chase. Last time I gave the example of the old lady trying to search the needle in the bright light in the street. But where she had dropped the needle? In her hut went there. So the young lad asked, "What are you doing, Didi? You have lost the things in hutment, you are searching here." He says, "Yes, I am very poor. I don't have light in my hutment. Here there is plenty of light." This is what we are doing. Happiness is inside, but we are searching outside. There was an anxious mother. She was almost neurotic. But people say, with a little bit of treatment, and you get married, and that neuroticism reduces. So she was one such mother. She got a nice baby. And in the house, she, her mother, and her husband, and sister. That day, husband has gone for the work. He is having the baby, and she lied down and was sleeping. Then when she got up, then mother was not there and sister had all gone to buy something. Then she got panic. Mom, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where is my child? Where is my child? Where is my child? She started searching here, there, everywhere. Where my child has gone. And after a big search, by that time her sister starts coming. He asked, "Hey, why are you getting panic? What is the problem?" "See, I'm searching for my child. I'm searching my child. I'm searching here in the kitchen, there, here. I don't know where the child has gone. What has happened?" "Why? You're keeping the child here and searching there." That is the anxiety thing. So, having the happiness inside, you are looking outside. So open it and say, "Please look within." This is a great change in outlook that should happen. Then what is that inner state which you call happiness? Again, examine, analyze. Reading a storybook, we are very happy. An interesting movie, we are very happy. TV serial, very, very happy. Wonderful movie, oh, we are happy. It looks happiness is state of concentration. But again, we have to go and check the litmus test. If you increase the duration of concentration, what is going to happen? Is it going to increase or decrease? Today, all intellectuals work with the intellect, with concentration. But after a few minutes of concentration, after 1 hour of concentration, 2 hours, they want a cup of tea, a drink, if not a drug. Why? Because concentration also brings fatigue. So concentration cannot be that inner state which you call as happiness. Then what? Then you have to look deeper. Many times you don't get at the correct answer because the whole thing occurs very fast. When I'm looking in a cricket stadium, beautiful thing going on, or we're doing that. In the first bowling, he hits a sixer, we're all excited. In the second ball, the person is out, he is going out. We did not know what happened. But when you have the slow moving TV, person is coming and bowling, he is putting a googly and is coming and trying to hit and it knocks off the beam. You thoroughly enjoy. When you slow down, you get the reality. Similarly, floor gymnastics. The girls come and jump so beautifully. Everybody appears to be so good. But when you slow down, you see the differences. So slow playback is necessary. Therefore, let us say, when you are eating that rasgulla, you take a video picture and slow down. What is happening? You slowly see how it is going inside. And when that rasgulla goes and touches the taste buds, then something mysterious happens. Moments of waiting for Bhojan Mantra, concentration, the touch of the dish with the taste buds. The mind gets obliterated, silencing the mind. For a very short period of a time, maybe fraction of a second. Then you come back, oh, it's so nice, so wonderful, so good. What is happening? That is the truth of happiness, inner state, a brief silence that occurs. That you have to recognize. That is the state. It occurs in all our Vishaya Sambhoga. So, every sense, when it comes in touch with sense object, your mind goes into that silence very briefly. I used to live in Kanyakumari and we used to have camps like this, 1 month camp called Yoga Shibir. People used to come from everywhere and every morning after the Yoga class, we will go there to see the sunrise in the sea beach. Not only our students, but also visitors who will come there. They all come before the sunrise, 6:30, 6:35. 15 minutes before they will come. They all are watching continuously. I was sitting there and watching. It happened that one person was standing there and when the sun was rising, he was standing like this. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes he was standing like this. When I looked at him, he had closed the eyes. Then I called him, hey, you came here to see the sunrise and the beautiful view. Why did you close the eyes? I don't know, sir. Probably you are thinking of something, some problems, some worries in your house. No, sir. I was fully in a state of great happiness. Probably you are watching the nice touch of the sand with your feet. No, sir, no, sir. Were you aware of the body? No, sir. What happened? I don't know. I'm very happy. Look at what happened. Eyes came in touch with a vast, expansive, beautiful ocean view. And the sunshine coming up, sun rising. Vishaya Sambhoga. Then the mind became silent. Silence is bliss. So we got one person. He's a French ambassador to England. He came, went to Jindal for a rejuvenation thing. He didn't like. So he came over here 20 years back. And he was seeing the beautiful things here. On that day, I was talking about this happiness analysis. What is happiness? What is the silence, everything? And he got frustrated. Is the goal in life? Is the thing I have never examined? Let me start doing that. So from that day, he came for 1 day. He asked, I want to stay for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days. He stayed 21 days. When he was going, we had a VIP here. And he asked, hey, you are such a busy man, French ambassador to London. And you came here just for a visit for 1 day, but you stayed for 21 days. What kept you going here? It's very humorous. He said, you see, if you go in that thing, in the complete southern end, southwestern end, there is a rock. That's called the Swati rock, written there. It's the Swati rock which made me stay there, he said. Hey, what are you mean? Rock? Can a rack make a thing for you? Please, what is it? He said, every day in the morning, he will go there. He will sit there. The speciality is from there, you can see a beautiful valley completely. You can see the whole expansive sky there. Very beautiful view. Every morning, he will go there by 6 o'clock, stay there. It was December time, very pleasant weather. And he will come back, 8 o'clock, he will breakfast, then again go back by 8:30, 9 o'clock, and stay up to lunch, and goes on watching sky. You're trying to see whether he gets to that silence, Vishaya Sambhoga. Eyes being in touch with that expansive oceanic expansion. Again he will come back, have lunch, take a little rest, again 3 o'clock he will go until the sunset he will do. He said, first 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, it was a turmoil. My mind was telling, what are you doing? Nonsense. Leave all these things. You are such a busy man. You have this work, that work, everything you have to do. But he had taken a resolve. No, I'm going to examine, do this thing, experiment, that research. Then 4 days, 5 days, slowly my mind started coming to my control. But nowhere near silence. It was going. Various ideas, creative ideas, and brilliant ideas, concentration, everything going on. Went on and on. 15 days, 17 days. And on the 19th day, I was sitting there and something happened to me. There was an explosion. And I was so happy, so blissful. Oceanic bliss. Such a bliss I never experienced. And mind has gone in tune with that wonderful, beautiful sky. And he said, look out, I am born in a very rich family with a silver spoon in my mouth. And I had wonderful education. And I was topper in my classes, primary school, middle school, high school, college. And then I had a beautiful marriage with a beautiful lady, great dancer, the most famous dancer of Paris. And we lived very, very happily with all the comforts and these things you can think of. And we got children, 2 beautiful children we had, twins. And they are so beautiful. They are coming up so nicely. They are also brilliant going on. Then with all these things, you would imagine how much of happiness I would have got. Compared to this bliss that I got, it was 1/10, 100. This was 100 times more, 1,000 times more. That is the dimension there. So the eyes coming in picture. Vishaya Sambhoga, ears. When the ears have that beautiful music, then you are gone. Subbulakshmi was a master musician from Tamil Nadu. Many of you may know. He used to come to Bangalore and give concert. In Fort High School, there used to be a huge Ramnavami celebration. 21 days, all great singers used to come there. And she will come and people were all sitting there. We are also going there and sitting, hearing the beautiful music. And she is an accomplished musician. She will take you to such wonderful raga. And your mind is immersed in that wonderful rasa. And suddenly she will make a twist and your mind goes into silence. Wonderful experience. Then you don't know what is she singing. You don't hear. That is the state of silence. Vishaya Sambhoga that occurs. Then touch. Mother's child. The newborn baby is hugging. What a pleasure. She forgets everything. Mind goes into that silence. Then every sense pleasure, you have to recognize what is happening there. These are all the different dimensions of bliss. Vasita is explaining, in every sense pleasure, what is happening is unique. It is the same. The mind transcends itself, goes into that state of silence, goes into the state of Anandamaya Kosha. What is that Anandamaya Kosha? Parame Vyoban silence. So the husband and wife, you said that they have the contact, husband and wife, and the sexual thing is one of the greatest things. So Vasishtha is explaining in the things when you have this thing, husband and wife, and they are together, they go into Nidya, Triya, Parishvakta, Nakanchana Veda Vakyam, Nantaram. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is telling, at that time the mind has gone into silence. And this forms the basis of Tantra Shastra. The whole Tantra Shastra was developed on this dimension. So that is a recognition of truth of happiness. In all sense pleasures, you have to recognize that which is happening. The mind going into silence, in a state of silence. In some, it becomes only short thing, for some it becomes longer. But this thing. So, a question came, the brilliant student asked, what about my litmus test, sir? If you stay in that silence longer and longer, what is going to happen? Don't you get bored? Stay in that same silence? No. Because we cannot stay in that silence longer and longer. It is not easy. It's not happening to us. So we must try. For those people who have done that, who are able to stay in that silence, what do they say? Great seers. They say, yeah, just stay longer and longer in that silence. Your happiness increases. It becomes so large. Exponential growth. If you stay 2 times, 4 times. If you stay 5 times, you have 25 times more. Exponential growth. The happiness increases more and more. It spreads not only in the head, but the whole body. It spreads. Even every cell gets transformed. There is a metamorphic transformation that takes place. So the goal is to stay. Rama, therefore, what you have to do? Start staying in that silence. Don't go on thinking, brooding over what is lacking, what is lacking, what is this type. You are working at the intellect level. Go beyond the intellect. You had very brilliant questions, great questions, fantastic questions you have been having. But now you have to transcend the intellect. You have to go beyond the intellect to go into that silence. Stay in that silence longer and longer. And Sri Rama got the dying and started staying. During the period, after the morning satsang, he will sit there until the evening satsang starts by Vasishtha. He was staying there. And he started going deeper and deeper, overcoming his dimension. He understood that silence is bliss. Transcending the mind is bliss. So, Vasishtha says, we call the bliss silence. Upanishad, the conclusion is telling bliss is silence. That mind go into that silence, transcending even the intellect is that. So in that there are no thoughts. Intellect has not yet manifested. The emotions have not yet arisen. The prana has yet to come up. That is the state, Anandamaya Kosha. That is the thing. Sri Rama asked, okay, so if staying in silence is the goal, what about activity? I become a king. Suppose I sit in silence. How do I discharge activity? Sukha, after getting this thing, staying in that silence and realizing the truth, I am also going to sit and then do that. Then what is going to happen? How we are going to do this dimension? So how did Sukha live his life, become? Arjuna also had a similar question to Krishna. He asked, that Chitta Prajna, who is established in Samadhi, established in that silence, established in the transcendent, how does it talk? Chitta Prajnasya ka bhasha, samadhistasya keshava, yatadikyam prabhasheta, kimasita brajeta kim. How does they act? How does they talk? How does they live? How does they discharge their duties? Silence all the time. What is going to happen? Then Vishwamitra and Vasishtha continues the story of Sukha. What is that story? Shuka's question to Janaka. So Shuka got completely educated by Vyasa Maharshi. But Vyasa Maharshi gave him all the knowledge. He made him to practice that silence. He was very, very happy. But Shuka thought there's something beyond. No? Silence, bliss, is it all? My father is not telling me. Probably he is not such a great Gnani. So Vyasa realizes that and says, Shuka, you go to Janak Maharaj. He's the greatest of the Gnani of our times. He's renowned. So Shuka goes there. What Janaka says, he knows that Shuka is coming. He tells his security guards there, if one young lad is going to come, he's only 10 years old, he wants to meet me, you make him comfortably sit there nicely and tell that Janak Maharaj is very busy. Until I call you, let him stay there. Then they all did. Shuka came there, is waiting there. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. They were giving little food. But Shuka was in the state of silence. He was in a blissful state. This is the first test that Janaka gives. What is the first test? Can you stay in that silence comfortably waiting? And waiting. He had no problem at all. Complete 10 days he was in that state, sitting there. Then Janaka said, yes, he has passed my first test. That he can stay in that silence for any length of time, comfortably, happily, blissfully. He has understood silence is bliss. Then he comes and says, great Shuka, I'm very happy you have come. I'm so sorry. I got stuck in various, problems and other things, had to take care of those things. So please come. And with all Jammu Savari, with trumpets and everything, he takes Shuka nicely and giving a lot of praise. Everybody is shouting, Shuka, Jai Jai Shukadev, with all these things, drums and others. Shuka was calmly going there with Janaka. That is a palatial place, in a very beautiful place, with all the luxuries. Janaka says, please stay here, few more days you rest. For 10 days, hardly you have taken food. You have nice food and all luxuries of life, music, dance, drama, everything provided, with all the damsels coming there and giving all the sensual pleasures, all the 5 sense pleasures. Shuka, what was they doing? They were sitting there equally, watching everything. 3 days over, 4 days over, 5 days over, 10 days again. What he was doing there, sitting in that silence. What he was doing here, same silence. Because silence is bliss. He was attuned to that self. So when all these things happened, he was not lured. No sense pleasure lured him. So then Janaka comes, Shuka, you have won. 2 tests. 1, waiting and staying in that silence as long as you want. And you are not drawn by any sense pleasure. This is the second test. Therefore, I declare you as an accomplished Gnani. So, what Vyasa Maharshi has done is fine, and you have achieved that. I will certify. Then, Shuka asked, Janak Maharaj, I have a great question. Now I am a mendicant. I have no responsibility. I have no duty. I can stay in that silence. Whatever happens, I can be in that silence continuously. But you have so many problems, so many challenges, so much of work, so much of responsibility, so many duties. How do you maintain that inner silence in all these activities? I want to know this thing. You are not sitting quiet, but you are considered the greatest of the Gnani in the silence. How it is happening? Then Janaka says, he brings a candle, wick, oil wick, a burning thing, a small candle. And he gives that thing and says, Okay, now get up. Now hold this thing. He gives it. He holds. Now you go around the palace in this thing. Come back. Condition: your light in the wick should be burning. So God takes continuously going. Looking at this frame, it doesn't work. Tanaka, wonderful, very good, very good. But what was happening there? I don't know. What was happening there? Here? No? I don't know. This time you go. You must keep the wick flaming, the wick burning, not extinguished. At the same time, I want you to know every detail what is happening there. You must come and report. Looking at every detail. Comes here. What did you find? Here, everything he explained. What is happening? An inner layer of the mind. Silence, calmness, peace, bliss inside. Outside, activities. This is the way that the Jnanis work. This is the way Brahma had to work. That doesn't mean once you get into silence and bliss, everything is gone, you are not going to do any activity. So you're going to act everything and do as anybody else does more efficiently. This is a special way of doing it. Action in silence. This is called dual mode operation, they call it. So Shuka's realization was action in blissful awareness. That is the secret that he gets. With that, we close today's session and questions. You may all have questions. Please write your questions and send it to me. Next Saturday, when we meet, I'm going to take this question and explain how Vasishtha answered this question. All types of questions Rama starts asking. Every day it is a question. And this is what we have to understand. How Yoga Vasishtha unravels the mysteries of our Sanatana Dharma. And with that, close our session with the Shanti Mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinos,
सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Guruji, how do we actually test these methods? Or these any step-by-step method? As Rama has said, the method is to see that you recognize the inner silence that occurs in every Vishayi Sambhoga. Everything you enjoy in life, that you should be able to observe carefully and do the experiment, do the research. It is an inner research. Inner research is very important. When you dish up your choice, your gulab jamun, your rasgulla, your chicken, whatever you like, take that and eat. Don't be in a rush to gulp it. Eat and then see what happens. So the mind is really going into silence. Can you recognize that fraction of a second? This is how we must do the experiment. For me, it took several days and weeks to examine this thing. So I should do that. Once you get the glimpse of that, once you recognize that silence, half the work is done. Recognition is half the solution. Then you know whatever happiness you get by any sense pleasures, what is happening is something common. The mind is going to silence. That is how you start. Then you say, why you have to go and eat and get this silence? Why not directly silence the mind? Meditation, sitting in silence. That's the next step. So Rama was asked of this thing, recognize this thing and stay in that silence. Shuka was made to undergo this thing. He was staying in silence for days and weeks and months together, sitting in silence. Rama also was made to do that. This is the step that we have had. What do you do when reaction starts bubbling up and you lose your control? Start crying or shivering. That's what happens to all of us, in the beginning. Because we are drawn by the emotions. The emotions will take over us. We get enslaved in the whole encounter. Therefore, first you start examining what is that state which you call as bliss, happiness, silence, observing. Then continuous practice to stay in that silence, which you call as meditation, dhyana. If you find that meditation is also difficult, start doing pranayama, so deep breathing, Nadishuddhi pranayam, Brahmari pranayam, and Hitali, Sitkari, Sadan, the different pranayamas you start doing. Practice some yogasanas, night shavasana, relaxation. This is how you are going to develop the dimension. So slowly, your depression, your sudden reactions, and losing control, and crying, everything is going to reduce. The depression inside will show up as losing your control, and you start crying. Manasa, vacha, kaya. Kaya comes to action level. Then you start crying and crying. Or if you are very violent, you start hitting and do other things. This is the dimension that occurs. So you have to start and go on doing the practice. Continuous practice is very much needed, and this is how we can work on that thing and practice. Abhyasa, abhyasena ta kaunteya, vairagyena cha gruhyate. Krishna says, no shortcut to abhyasa. Every day must do the practice. Somebody asked the question, how long? It depends on your state, how mature you are, how sattvic you are, how you are full of this Daivi Sampath. Depending on that, people got it in few days. Shuka Maharshi got it in probably a few weeks or months. Rama got in a few weeks or months. But other people may take years together. Some people for the whole life, but still they may not get it. It depends on our initial condition. Where do we stand? If you want to reach there, where you are standing, you are staying very near to that or here. You want to reach Delhi, whether you are very near Delhi, only a few miles, or whether 100 miles, you are 1,000 miles, you are 2,000 miles, 5,000 miles. Take. So our initial condition is responsible to say how long. So to dirghakala nairantarya satkara sevito drudabhumihi, as the Patanjali says, it may take a very long time. Your sustained effort, dedicated effort, but practice. So Maunavrata and silence practice, is it the same? Maunavrata is not talking, but still in the mind you may go on talking. There may be the thoughts coming up. Silence, what we are talking is silencing of the mind. The thoughts should reduce. It will slow down, number of thoughts per minute, maybe 1,000. It will become 500, 100, 50, 10, 2, 1. Finally, it becomes a zero. So this is the silence that we are talking about. Okay, with that, we'll close today's thing with the Shanti Mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah.
सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्तिः
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ಓಹೋ ಏನು ಪುಟಾಣಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ
ಹಾಂ ಗುರುಜಿ
ಇದ್ರ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ಗೆ?
ಹಾಂ ಗುರುಜಿ.
Hmm.